My sister knew I was struggling, so she took my money and bought herself a vacation, and the part one can't get over is how she said it like a favor, like she'd removed a burden from me and repurposed it into palm trees and bottomless mimosas. I'm Ava, by the way. 29, allergy to debt collectors, part-time barista and full-time. Can you pick up an extra shift, girl? If my life had a soundtrack, it would be the click of my banking app loading and my heart doing that tiny freefall when the numbers appear. I am not dramatic by nature, but I do talk to my receipts sometimes, like they're soldiers who fought bravely and deserve a memorial. So when rent jumped and my manager temporarily reduced hours, the kind of temporary that brings a suitcase, I built a little dam against panic the way I build everything, quietly with post-its. I sold 2 dresses, 1 ukulele, and a pair of boots that lied to me about being comfortable. I let go of yoga classes and learned how to stretch like a cat who's watched YouTube. And I moved all the precious bits of money, the don't touch this Ava future you needs it bits, into a sub-savings I named Hold. I literally called it Hold so that even future impulsive me would feel judged by the label. My sister Myra knew all of this because I told her. She's older by 3 years and exactly 1 galaxy when it comes to confidence. She enters rooms like they've been waiting, like the table was reserved in her name. She's smart, charismatic, allergic to small spoons. She's also, look, I'm trying to be fair. She's not cruel. She's just so used to the world rearranging for her that she thinks no is a playful challenge, not a boundary. When we were kids, I'd save half my Halloween candy for January. She'd convince me there was a sugar tax that only applied to younger siblings. 2 weeks before everything cracked, I was at her apartment eating hummus that tasted like a sunburn and watching her plan her reset. A reset, in Myra speak, is a trip she takes when life feels stale. Tahoe once. Tulum twice. This time she was scrolling pictures of a resort with hammocks that cradled you like the universe finally apologized. You should come, she said, tossing me a grape that I missed by a foot. You've been grinding. Reset your nervous system. I can't, I said, and it came out flat because I'd done the math already. Rent. Utilities. A dentist appointment that involved words like deep cleaning and a number that made me want to floss feelings. I'm holding money for rent in a separate account so I don't accidentally live off it. She squinted like I'd said a riddle. How much are we talking? Enough to keep a roof from wandering off, I said. Plus a small emergency pad I'm pretending is more than it is. Myra hummed. You're so responsible. It's honestly inspiring. I took the compliment and put it on a shelf because compliments from Myra often come with fine print. 2 nights later, I closed the cafe, counted the drawer 3 extra times because a man in a suit with opinions was observing loss prevention, and got home to find my doorbell doing a jazz solo. It was Myra, bouncing like news. Do you love me? She asked, coming in without waiting. Define love, I said, because if you don't make jokes you'll make noise. She sat, folded herself into my thrift store armchair, the one that squeaks like it's practicing honesty, and produced a glossy folder. Don't be mad, she said, which is a confession waiting to happen. I did something proactive. The folder held an itinerary. 5 nights. Puerto Vallarta. Ocean view room. Our names on a booking. I got the best deal, she rushed. Flash sale. It was like the universe opened a window. I set the folder down gently, like it might bite. How? I said, because fear was already pointing at my banking app with both hands. Myra smiled the way she smiles when she's about to sell the unsellable. This is where you're going to be mad if you choose to be mad, but hear me. You told me you kept money in a hold thing for rent. You never use it. And you keep stressing. So, I moved some. Not all. Just what you won't miss. My mouth did that dry open close of a fish who's just learned about climate change. You moved, I couldn't finish, so she did. 2,000, she said. And I used it to book us both. Non-refundable. That way you can't back out. That's the life hack. We go, we reset, you come back and crush. You'll thank me. I stood up because sitting down felt like agreeing. You took my rent. Not your rent, she said quickly. The hold. The mental prison. You're a month ahead, you said so. This is spiritual rent. I laughed, ugly. You committed financial burglary and named it wellness. She pouted like I'd missed the vibe. It's not burglary if we're family. And I'll pay you back. I always do. Facts, Myra sometimes pays me back. Also facts, sometimes paying back means buying me dinner and calling it square on a loan that had interest even if I didn't charge it. I opened my banking app because I needed the numbers to be hallucinations. They were not. The transfer was there, a cheerful line item, Zell to Myra mediumskontendanza. My stomach did that elevator drop and kept going. You have to cancel, I said. Call the resort. Cry. Use your my sister will be homeless voice. It's non-refundable, she said, a little smaller. But listen, my bonus hits next month. I'll cover your rent then. We just have to bridge. Bridge, I repeated. Like over a canyon. Like over a stream, she said quickly. A babbling brook. This is Niagara, I said. In winter. With warning signs. Her eyes were big and wounded, a baby deer who had also learned PowerPoint. I did it because I love you, she said, and the audacity of that sentence rearranged my organs. You've been sad. You shrink when you're stressed. I thought, she needs the ocean. She won't pick it. So I picked it. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw the itinerary out the window and let it learn to fly. But instead I told her to leave. I said it softly, which is a problem of mine. She hugged me like that counted and then left with the folder, humming the resort's name like a spell. After she was gone, I slid onto the kitchen floor with my back against the cabinet like every indie movie girl who's had enough. I did the math again because math is the only superstition I trust. With what was left, I could cover half the rent, electricity if I prayed, and toothpaste if I picked the brand that tastes like chalk. The emergency pad was now a post-it with LOL written on it. I texted my landlord. Can I pay half on the 1st and half on the 15th? He responded like a human with a mortgage, half on the 1st is fine. I lay down and cried into a dish towel because tissues are too small for this kind of arithmetic. The next morning I told my manager I could work any shift, all shifts that haven't been invented. She gave me 2 more which would help in 2 weeks and not today. I sold the last dress I liked and a coat that looked amazing but made me itch and still short. I stared at my phone, Myra's name a neon sign in my brain. I typed, you have to fix this. I deleted it. I typed, I'm proud of you for always choosing joy, I can't be your bank. I deleted it. I typed, return the trip or I tell mom. I didn't delete that one. I sent it. Childhood is not that far away, sometimes you still call the manager. My mother called within an hour, breathless. What did Myra do? What she always does, I said. But bigger. Ava, she said, and my name came out a sigh and a hymn and a scold. You girls. Money is, well. You know how your sister is. I do, I said. But does she know how rent is? She said she'll pay you back, Mom offered like a band-aid on a flood. She said, I echoed. She also said it was for my own good. That's the part one don't love, Mom said quietly, then louder. I'll talk to her. The thing about our mother is that she believes in talking like it's a magic spell you can cast until the pot boils. She called Myra. Myra called me. I let it go to voicemail because I was practicing being my own parent. She left a message that started with you made this so awkward, contained I'm trying to do something nice, and ended with we leave on Friday, if you don't come I'll invite Lila, like that would punish me. Lila is her friend who calls everyone babe, including her dentist. I didn't sleep that week. I worked. I skipped lunch. I said no to plans. I watered my basil plant with the intensity of a woman who must succeed at photosynthesis. And I made a list of rules on a napkin as if rules can protect you after the fact. 1. No shared access to anything. 2. Don't narrate your finances to people who treat your safety like a suggestion. 3. If someone says for your own good, pack your wallet and run. Friday came. Myra texted a beach selfie with Lila under a caption, "Wish you were here, but like not in a guilty way, in a you deserve it way." I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I respect my cortisol. I put on my big girl dungarees, metaphorical, they were leggings, and walked to my landlord's, cash in an envelope like it was 1997. "Thank you," he said. "Half is fine." I cried on his porch because being allowed to pay half sometimes feels like compassion wearing a cardigan. That night Sophia, different Sophia, not my cousin but my coworker who carries chapstick like currency, came over with pad thai and a face that says, "I'm not leaving until you metabolize this." She listened. She swore on my behalf. She told me about her brother who once borrowed her car to pick up his girlfriend in another state and then called to ask for gas money. We laughed in the way that keeps you from screaming. "So what now?" she asked, noodles poised. "Boundaries," I said. "Concrete pour or velvet rope?" she asked. "Rebar," I said. "And a velvet rope for holidays." When Myra got back, tanned and sparkling like a brochure, she showed up with a gift bag, the retail version of penance, and inside was a seashell candle, a sarong that would make me look like a festive burrito, and a check. "Not for everything. For 800. "I got you something," she said brightly. "I needed my money," I said. "Not your merchandise." She flinched and then her chin did that little lift it does when she shifts to defense. "You're impossible to please," she said. "I could have invited you. I did invite you. You punished me for refusing to live. Life is short. Life is long when you can't pay rent," I said. "And don't dress theft in the clothes of living fully." "It wasn't theft," she snapped. "We're family." "Family doesn't give themselves clearance codes to your survival," I said, and heard my voice harden into someone who's finally in the right movie. We fought. It wasn't elegant. We threw words like plates, and some of them didn't deserve to be thrown. I said she was selfish, she said I was small. I said she mistook confidence for character, she said I envied her joy. In a quieter life, maybe those sentences would have found mediation. In this life, they just sat in the room and glared. At one point, she burst into tears. "I did it because I can see you drowning," she said, hands open. "I wanted to pull you out." "You took my life jacket," I said. "Then you went swimming." Silence. Street noise bloomed, someone's bass, laughter that didn't belong to our lives, a dog who had opinions. Then Myra did something rare, she stopped talking. "What do you want me to do?" she asked, and it wasn't a trick. It was a question. I told her, "Pay me back. Stop asking my money to heal you. If you want to reset, sell one of your 20 pairs of boots. Get a second job. Or don't and plan within your budget. But stop treating my stability like it's a spa." She nodded. "Okay," she said, and at first I didn't believe her because my muscle memory remembered every okay that meant for now. But she took out her phone, opened her banking app, Huss's dark mode of course, and set an automatic transfer, $400 every Friday until the balance, interest-free because I like myself, not because she deserves it. Then she did something even rarer. "I'll go to Mom with you," she said. "I'll tell her I'm paying you back. So you don't have to carry this as a secret." We went. Mom listened. She didn't fill the air with "you girls." She said, "That was wrong to Myra, and I'm sorry to me, and then I did this to you a little, to both of us," tears making her eyeliner honest. "I raised one of you to be brave and one of you to be careful, and then I asked the careful one to loan the brave one her caution." We cried, all three of us, and it felt like rinsing a wound. It wasn't a movie. Myra didn't become a fiscal monk. She still calls me from Zara asking if I need a blazer because it's on sale. She still says YOLO like a spell when she's ordering appetizers. But something shifted. She stopped assuming my money is a communal soup. When she wants to do something big, she says I'm saving for this instead of we're doing this. When I say no, she says copy, which is hilarious and perfect. Months later, on a windy Thursday that felt like a Tuesday in a hat, I opened my banking app and my chest didn't drop. The hold account had a balance that made me breathe like I was learning to. Rent was covered. The electric bill was an email, not a threat. And there was something else, a new sub-savings I named C because I'm not petty enough to pretend the ocean isn't medicine. I've been putting $20 in it each week, like tiptoeing toward the shore. When I go, I'll go on money that didn't have to hold my roof up. I'll go because I chose, not because someone chose for me and called it love. A small epilogue because my brain loves narrative symmetry. Myra booked another reset recently. She called me first, voice like light. I paid for it, she said. With my money. I even used points. Are you proud? I am, I said. Want my sarong back? She laughed. Keep it. You'll need it, she said, and then softer, I'm sorry again. I forgive her in installments. That's the truth. Forgiveness, like debt, accrues different kinds of interest. Some days I feel generous and I remember us at 7 and 10 braiding hair and building forts out of couch cushions she wasn't supposed to jump on, her hand warm on my ankle in the dark. Some days I remember the way my stomach dropped when I saw Zell to Myra medium skin tone dancer, and I have to put my phone face down and talk to my basil plant about anger. But we're moving. She pays weekly without fail. I say thank you and I mean it. We send each other recipes and memes and pictures of the moon when it's stupidly big. We are learning how to be sisters under capitalism, which is to say tender with caution, generous with boundaries, honest enough to be useful. And when I finally walk into the ocean, I will have earned every inch of that tide. I'll float on my back and let the salt do what salt does, hold, clean, sting a little, and I'll think about how love that respects your budget is the only kind that actually resets anything. I'll text Myra a photo of my toes pointed at a horizon no one stole from me, and she'll text back a heart and a sun and proud, and maybe I'll cry, but it will be the kind of crying that doesn't need a dish towel, the kind the air can handle.